All right, we are live. Seems awful quiet for a right now show. We're working on it, right? Jeez, it said impromptu. That means we get on when we get on. Welcome to our live show. This is Phil from the Glacial Geek. Either youtube.com/glacial geek.
It's youtube.com. I looked it up now. youtube.com/the Glacial Geek.
The Glacial Geek.
Yeah, or facebook.com/glacial geek.
There we go. There we go.
Not to make it any more difficult.
Oh, we're definitely getting something here over on there.
So we just got to change the YouTube.
What, the YouTube's not working?
No, the YouTube's just
the title?
Chaos.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So here we are. This is really impromptu.
Yes.
Impromptu live show with the Glacial Geek and giveaways. I'll just get rid of this part for now. Save. I do not. Okay. The Geek. Look at that. Why not giving away a tower army? Just for everybody watching on YouTube, we'll be responding to the Twitch chat. Just because it's easier and because we're trying to get more people over on Twitch for the next couple of days when we can actually stream on YouTube. Because once we are a Twitch affiliate, then all of our Twitch streaming has to be only on Twitch. So we're just using the next couple of days to promote the fact that you want to get on over to Twitch. I just need to get over
that
to
partner level.
I'm trying to
affiliate first.
Trying to get the chat open first.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
So there's our chat. Let's turn that off, and we will be starting in just a second. Pop out. Popping. Okay, actually we can just go to the editor. Just bear with me for 1 second. We are just about good to go. Yeah, we're just gonna... Yes, we are only missing the day stream. Oh, we still have to get the hours in too, because it's only over 30 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're required to have a certain number of hours, a certain number of viewers, a certain number of followers, and a certain number of days streamed. And we've got everything but the days streamed, basically.
There we go.
So if you want to interact with Phil and with me, you need to head up. What's going on, Colin?
Just a heads up that I updated the YouTube thumbnail, but it'll say Shrine of Chaos for everyone who's coming on. So if they're saying why isn't the Shrine, that's what it is.
So it's going to still say Shrine of Chaos for everybody?
Well, it's not. It's just the thumbnail is the default one that's set. So I did change it to the picture you just made.
Right.
So it'll just take a second to hopefully update.
That's fine. Cool.
Just so you know.
Shrine of Chaos is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Is that right? 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Dave. This is just an impromptu show. Literally, Phil is here for the week filming battle reports with us, and we got our battle reports done.
Yep.
And it was early, and we're like, we could film another battle report, but he's starting to get a little tired.
Yeah.
And so we thought instead of that,
we would just perform for you.
Yes.
Live. Yeah.
And I just ran downstairs to the Fungeon where Lee is. And I'm like, Lee, what do we got that we could give away? And we kind of looked around. And we got a couple of these boxes, the Horus Heresy Burning of Prospero. And it is missing some models. It's already open. I believe the one that we looked at was missing the Custodes and the character. It still has the Sisters of Silence and all of the lovely, lovely Horus Heresy guys like the Cataphracti armor and all the tactical marines and stuff for Horus Heresy. So we're going to be giving away a couple of these. The other box. So basically, I give no guarantees as to what is in the box, except I can show you when I open it up. There's a lot of stuff still in there. Yeah. So they're still worth a good amount of money. We just grabbed them really quick because I like giveaways. They're fun.
Especially since they don't have, I don't think they're selling those anymore. So
no, probably not. Because now they sell everything separately.
Exactly.
Yeah, toys for the toy god. You're right. So anyway, so we're going to be doing that partway through. We're going to be on for like 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. We'll do a couple giveaways throughout, but only on the Twitch chat. We're only responding and reading the Twitch chat. So if you're watching this on YouTube, come on over to the Twitch side of things at twitch.tv/miniwargaming so that we can chat with you because we want to chat with you. Yeah. We really do, honestly.
Seriously.
Oh, we already got over 100 people. Sweet.
There we go.
Sweet. That's a great start. And of course, follow us on Twitch so you can be updated when we're doing new stuff. So, let's just get started.
All right.
So if you have any questions for Phil specifically, if you're not, let's do a quick introduction, actually.
Yes.
Phil, who are you, Phil?
I am Phil, the Glacial Geek. I do a YouTube channel, the Glacial Geek, where I do 40K battle reports on there. Mondays I do full-length ones, and Fridays I do kill team battle reports. So 2 battle reports a week, which is pretty good. But yeah, so it's fun putting it out there. A lot of entertaining stuff, sometimes competitive stuff, but mostly entertaining stuff. So check it out.
Competitive's not entertaining?
Well, it can be as long as everyone knows what they're getting into, but some people don't like to see that, but you know. But I think I enjoy competitive as much as I do fluffy narrative stuff. So I like mixing it in.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy narrative more than competitive, but I enjoy every once in a while I just get that kind of desire to just be like, screw it, let's just play as hard as we can. And as long as I know my opponent's
exactly
not going to be building if I'm playing a low tier army and he's playing a super high tier, then you don't get any desire.
Exactly. I think as long as they're balanced, if you know what you're getting into with your opponent, it can be a fun game. So if I'm bringing my hardcore tournament list and my opponent brings his hardcore tournament list, it's probably going to be a close, fun game, and that's in the end what ends up being enjoyable about it to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what we were filming today is actually a new show that I thought of literally last night.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think of, I got my beat map out. I'm still going to be doing those, but always looking for new ways to kind of present content. And I realized today that there's a lot of, we have a lot of models here. A lot of stuff is in our warehouse, lots of terrain. The terrain cycles through a lot of use, but a lot of our models sit on the shelf, either because they are underpowered or because they are high points costs, like some of the Forge World stuff, some of the super heavy Titanic, all that kind of stuff. And so I decided I want to start a new show that starts to showcase those lesser seen things and just have fun with them in these wacky scenarios. And so I call the show Matt Plays with Forge World Models.
Yeah.
And so we actually filmed the first 2 episodes of that show. You should see it in the next couple of weeks probably. The first one features the Astreus super heavy tank. And which is this awesome looking, just gorgeous Forge World tank for the Space Marines. And then the second game featured 2 Harridans.
Yes.
2 Tyranid Harridans. And both the games worked out pretty well.
Yeah, they were fun.
No spoilers here.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun on both of them.
Yeah.
And especially the second one. I think
the second one was a lot of fun.
The double Harridan. You introduced me to a couple of knights that I haven't played against for a while. The Knight Castellant.
Yes.
And the Knight Gallant in the second one. So,
It was fun. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
And we made lists that work out well with it. So.
Exactly. Yeah, that's an important thing, because some Forge World stuff can sometimes be either overpowered or more likely underpowered.
Yeah.
And so that's probably why you don't see it quite as often.
Yeah.
But that's not fair. I want to show it off. SF Panzer says, I'd buy Forge World stuff if it weren't overpriced chunks of resin. It's a specialist thing.
Yeah.
So it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive. I'm not going to say that it's not.
Yeah.
But
they look really cool. That's what it comes down to.
It's tough because you're going to get people who will who will want Games Workshop to do the specialist stuff, right? But if you don't understand the business mechanics behind it, then Games Workshop has 2 choices to make. They can either be like, screw it, we're only going to focus on the things that sell super well.
Yeah.
So we're going to, then you'll never see certain codexes updated.
Yeah.
Or when they do get updated, it's just really quick, once every 10 years kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're going to stay away from the big stuff because they're only going to sell
a small number.
Comparatively speaking, they're selling a small number.
Yeah.
But then people would complain and say, well, they're not like this cool hobby kind of place like they used to be.
Yeah.
When it comes to Forge World stuff, the business really comes down to it, that if they're going to be selling something that's smaller runs, then it costs more.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. And they have to make back the cost of the design, making the mold, and the whole process. And if you're doing it over the course of the bajillion sprues of tactical Marines or Primaris Marines that you're going to do it at, you have a bit more margin that you can work with. But if you're only going to sell, a handful of Warlord Titans, the design still costs just as much, the building of the mold costs just as much, and they need to make back that production cost and on those ones. So that's why they're usually way more expensive.
Yeah. The molds might be a little cheaper. It depends on how they do them. Because it's a resin cast mold rather than the plastic injection molding.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they'll probably be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
I think, but it's the run.
Yeah.
Like if I spend $20,000 to $30,000 to make a plastic injection mold, which is not an uncommon price. I don't know what Games Workshop can do to them because they have their own factory, so they got their own numbers.
Yeah.
But let's say it's $10,000. If you sell 10,000 sprues out of that, that only costs you $1 a sprue.
Yeah.
Whereas you've had the cheaper mold is only $1,000, but you're only selling a couple hundred of the models. Then all of a sudden you're looking at $5. Or it just takes, you just look at it as it takes longer to make it back, even though it's cheaper. So, but the fact that they can make, I think the fact that you can have it in cheaper molds and do the small runs is what makes it even possible.
Yeah.
But it does mean that pound for pound, you're going to be spending more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's just part of it. Ray Top, do you have any of the Necron Forge World models in the warehouse? I do. I don't have the newest one, but we have a bunch of the old stuff, so that will get featured eventually in the show.
You were looking through all the different stuff that you had, which was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to choose from.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking me about the Taunar. Yeah, Skull ZZDM. Matt, you going to dust the towel off to drop the Taunar on the table?
It got dusted off.
It's dusted off.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, because it was actually... There was an unfortunate mishap in this past summer where we had a bunch of our Forge World models in the central room between two studios, and we were having some air conditioning issues, and that middle room got really hot. And a few of those models actually... melted is not the right word, but deformed.
Yeah.
And so the Taunar was one of them. It actually fell off the shelf because of it, because it like slowly buckled forward until it fell off. Yeah. And so Lee is actually now he's doing repairs on all these so that I can do more of this kind of show. So they've been kind of sitting in a bucket of please repair me. And so he's remagnetized them, he's redone them, and it's actually stronger than ever. So yeah.
We have the capabilities to bring them back, build them stronger than ever.
Yeah, stronger than ever.
Yeah. The $1 million Taunar.
It's not far from it. Yeah. So we got Beepity Boopity 123 who thinks that the molds at Forge World cost like £50,000. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. Now, if you're talking about like the entire design process, I'd still highly doubt that because that would just be cost prohibitive. But you know what? I can't actually claim to know.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of it on my own like years ago. Yeah. Fist to fist. Matt, I've been watching mini wargaming content for 5 years. Feel proud you've stayed interesting to someone with ADHD for 5 years. Yeah. Well, it helps that I kind of in the same way. I get bored of doing the same thing. How do you find that? You play Warhammer 40K on your channel?
Yes.
Hey, let's get this closer over here.
Sure.
So we can both hear. Maybe even get it really close. Look at that microphone.
There we go. Now you guys can hear us.
So how do you play a lot of 40K? Obviously you play Kill Team too, so that helps it. Do you ever find yourself just wanting to do something different?
Sometimes. I think with what I do is I try to keep it interesting. I kind of throw like a narrative idea onto each of the different games I play. So in my head, it ends up becoming more than just moving around little plastic dudes on the table. And that, for me, keeps me a bit more engaged, a bit more interested in what I'm doing. So
do you find yourself having to make an effort to keep yourself interested, or are you just so naturally gung-ho about the game itself that you've been able to do it all this time? Because you've been how long have you been making videos?
About 3 years now.
Yeah, so 3 years, and that's a long time.
Yeah.
Do you still find yourself just naturally gung-ho, or are you finding yourself with lots of periods of time where you have to like find ways to make it interesting?
There are definitely periods when you get a little bit burnt out. There was, before the new Kill Team came out, I was doing 2 regular battle reports a week. And before it came out, towards the end of doing the process of doing 2 regular battle reports a week, I kind of got to the point where it became a lot of work to keep doing that and trying to put it in, because like the hours that you're doing it and you're putting it together, it's a lot. It's a lot of hours that you're working on these. And it got to the point that there were some days when I'd be like, you'd have to like dig deep to get that second reserve to make sure you go out there and do it. Because at that point, when you're doing a channel like this, it's, if you wake up and you don't feel like playing, it doesn't matter. Like you gotta suck it up and do it anyway.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, if I went in and half-assed it, like the people would just be, they would know. You could see it and they would come across and people wouldn't be as entertained. So you kind of have to find that inner reserve and just make it happen is what it comes down to. And there are certain days that are, that you feel that wear more than others, and and it kind of comes in waves, and you just got to keep finding the thing that inspires you to make you want to keep doing it.
It is a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find myself, I probably struggle with it even more than most other people in this office. Is that I get bored really quick. Even if something I love, I can get bored really quick. And so I love the fact that I can do other projects. Like 40K is starting to bore me. I can play Age of Sigmar.
Yes.
Age of Sigmar is starting to wear on me. I can do 40K. I got the narrative campaigns and all that. But yeah, it's you're always looking for something to refresh you.
Yeah.
Especially like once an edition's been out for a while.
Exactly.
Because a new edition comes out, it can be a very exciting time.
Yeah. New codex comes out, it's exciting.
Right. But a year or
like
two into it, and you're just like, okay, I feel like I've even though I haven't by any means played nearly all the different armies there to play, or all the different combinations. There's still plenty to do, but there's still a question of what you want to do too.
Exactly.
This is Phil from the Glacial Geek. I've been seeing some people asking. Yeah. The Glacial Geek, as in like a glacier?
Yes, like a glacier.
You used to live in Alaska.
Used to live in Alaska. It made more sense then. Now in Savannah, Georgia. So,
not very many glaciers.
Not many. One or two, maybe, if you look really hard.
They're sneaky glaciers.
Yeah, they're way wetter than the glaciers in the frozen areas, but you can find them. They call them rivers down there, but it's basically the same thing.
Weird, long, twisted.
Really long, wet glaciers, basically down there is what they got. So,
okay, let's see if there's any. Love the Glacial Geek. You're getting some love on the channel.
Heck yeah.
It seems like some people are having conversations about things and fantasy. Is that a subject matter? Is the Mini Wargaming Universe website still a thing? Technically. It hasn't been updated for a little while. But it's a wiki, so it can be updated by anybody. Same question at you, Matt. Hold on. What was the question? Fist. Oh, Fist. Did he see the one? I can't remember what he asked.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I don't see a question.
Missed it, yeah.
I saw his comment, but it's not a question. Okay. So, sorry, didn't see your question there.
Yeah. But
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, Googsy, are you going to do live shows with guests? I'm asked. Yes. I think what you mean is like guests who come in on a regular basis. I won't say that that's going to be a rule. We're doing this one right now because literally there's not a live show happening right now.
Yeah.
We were done our filming, and I kind of want to. I just felt like it. But I'm not going to say yeah as a rule because not every guest would want to.
Yeah.
There wouldn't always like Phil's a YouTuber, right? So I'm sure a lot of you know him, and if you don't, you can go check him out. The Glacial Geek, YouTube.com/The Glacial Geek.
There you go.
So yeah. Oh, apparently I answered his question.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe somebody else had answered it. Oh, DM Jeremy, he's actually the one coming in for our D&D campaign. Always enjoy Phil's narrative spins on battle reports.
Yay.
Okay. Devin's Craft, has Phil ever met someone he just loves more than others?
I mean, my wife. I'll go with that one. That's a good answer.
Good answer.
Brownie points in case she's watching.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think it's anything. I have fun. I enjoy playing the games with anyone who wants to come in and play. I mean, the fact is, when you're doing a battle report, when you're playing these games, you're playing with someone who loves the game, and I think there's just something that's part of that you're playing with someone who also loves the hobby that you love. Because I have a similar thing like Mini Wargaming where they have to have a painted army, and I don't have shelves and shelves of painted armies that people can borrow. They have to bring them on their own. They've got to bring their own painted armies. So there's also that added level of dedication that they not just love the hobby, but they loved it enough to want to be on the channel to paint their army and buy and collect and bring it in there. So there's a level there of enjoyment that you realize when you're playing with someone else, that they love this hobby as much as you do, and they're willing to put in the time and effort to make it happen. And that alone puts you at a certain even keel with enjoying each other's company. And there's always certain people whose personalities mesh more with yours, like anything else in life. But I think just even having that base level of enjoying the hobby together makes it enjoyable to play, do a battle report at least.
I find similar things, like most guests who come in are like that, because they're typically not the competitive type.
Yeah.
They're the ones, not that there's anything wrong with being competitive, but I mean, like, it typically attracts the type of person who has spent time on their army, who's more into that aspect of things, because they're the ones that are like, let's just go have some fun.
Yeah.
But I want to show off this awesome army on YouTube.
Yeah. And even if they're bringing like their competitive list that they're prepping for a tournament or they're prepping for something that's coming up, they're not coming onto the channel to just stomp on you. You know what I mean?
Not usually.
Yeah, not usually. That's
not
true.
Usually.
They're not usually
Sometimes.
looking to come on to be like, I gotcha. There's a lot less of that. They kind of understand the idea behind it, that you're creating something for entertainment, for other people to enjoy. And if it just boils down into a bunch of salty jerks, growling at each other, then
It doesn't promote the hobby.
it doesn't
very
promote
well.
the hobby, and it doesn't. People aren't going to want to watch that kind of video, and people know that that's not what works. So that's why win, lose or draw, I'm having fun, laughing, and enjoying it. So
That's important.
and that's what it comes down to. You got to enjoy. You got to enjoy the whole experience, and not just enjoy winning. Otherwise, doing something like a battle reports really. If I was in it to just win, I would have been out of it a long time ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So we have an interest. There's a few questions that are interesting.
Yeah.
But I want to jump on this one. Is that a subject? Is there a glacier dance to challenge mats?
I know. I was looking at that. I like that. I don't quite have one quite like that. I do have my standard selfie face, which is I think the thumbnail that you used here, which is where I just go, where I go like that. That's what I like to take pictures when I do with people. And I mean, I have my woos. So when I have really good rolls for saves, I woo during my battle reports, which is always fun. But I never woo another person's roll. I never woo another person's roll. That's my line. I will woo.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I cheer. I sometimes cheer. I'm like yes. I'm like sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had some times when I have wooed someone else's rolls. And what I do is like when I have a woo, I put in a picture in my battle reports where it's my head superimposed on like a ballerina dancer or like someone like slamming a basketball. But instead of that, when I woo someone else's accidentally, I will put up a saying that just says, "Phil, we don't woo other people's to shame me into not to wooing." So I can woo my own rolls, and then when my rolls are bad, I have my face that glares and comes into the screen. So I like to have fun whether I'm rolling well or not rolling well. I've got something to entertain either which way.
Exactly.
So yeah, so not quite the dance, but I've got my own picadillos that work well.
Have your own personality there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, there's a bunch. Somebody was asking if I could grow a manly beard like yours. The answer is no. I really can't.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. I could grow like the mustache goatee that comes to here and like a little bit of hair here, but then it'd be like naked right there.
Yeah.
But right here and here, I've got like at least I haven't shaved for 2 days.
Okay.
This is 2 days of not shaving.
I also haven't shaved for 2 days.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you.
and maybe a few before that.
If you looked closely, you can't see it on camera because the resolution won't be good enough. But there's like a few hairs starting to need to be shaved.
What's that? Yeah.
Like every 2 days, I need to shave. Let's put it that way.
There we go.
So I shaved yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So I didn't shave this morning. So that gives you an idea. Whereas other people like Steve, like he could shave and by the evening he'll have a beard again.
As the razor comes down, it starts to grow.
Like from the Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like Alan, it's just like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Steve, Luca.
Yeah.
Another hairy guy. Rob.
Yeah.
Rob's very hairy.
Josh,
yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bit of hair.
He's got a big beard, yeah. I'm just talking like the Italians,
Yeah.
like the Mediterranean
Yeah.
Steve, where it's just it's everywhere. So no, I can't. I'm sorry. I tried once to grow it. It lasted about 3 weeks, and then it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So I shaved it off.
Yeah.
Nothing against people with beards. I just don't want one. Maybe one day there will be like a 2-month period where I'm never going to be on camera, and I'm like, you know what? Well, sure, let's try it out. But
those first stages, it takes a lot to bear through it. And when it starts to grow in, and it's just basically a face full of itch.
Yeah.
And it's like
That was
it never
annoying.
looks good. There's always that period where there's that one period where it looks like the scruff, and you're like, oh, cool, that looks like cool and manly. And then it gets a little longer than scruff, and it's like that guy looks like he might be, looking for a job somewhere, like
Yeah, exactly.
panhandling. And then it gets beyond it, and it's like that guy either makes a living chopping down trees or wrestling bears. That's what it comes down
Straight
to.
at that
Yeah, exactly.
manly,
exactly.
woodcutter, lumberjack.
Exactly.
That's
the
the word.
lumberjack. Exactly. So
we got somebody posting. They posted a few times. Oh, I'm sorry. Where is it? Let you not promise not to post this question again. Just very curious if you both missed the blast templates.
no.
Because I enjoy their gimmickness. No.
I a lot of the things that they took out in 8th, like the blast templates and the scatter dice and
facings
and firing arcs, those were all the things that caused the minor arguments that we get into, not like table flipping, game ending arguments, but the minor things where people are like, you're not holding.
You gotta hold
Look at
that.
you're not holding your tape measure the right direction from the scatter dice.
I was amazed.
It's under 3 guys. It's
at
under
how
4
hard
guys.
it was for people to actually scatter in the right direction.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, when the first time I saw somebody do it wrong,
Yeah.
where like the arrow is pointing like this and they're like heading off
Yeah.
almost in a 90-degree direction
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm like, okay, surely that's not common. But it actually seemed to be the majority of people could never go parallel
Yeah.
to the way the arrow was pointing.
Yeah, it was always tough. And it was like these minor things that would just, irk. You know what I mean? So, and they took out those, and just smoothing down those edges, to me, made it a way more enjoyable experience. So that you didn't have those little irksome situations that just like took you out of enjoying the game. So,
and like it did change the dynamic of the game a lot. Like
Yes.
for example, with templates and blasts, how you positioned your models was a big deal. And I do enjoy that aspect of it. I do enjoy looking at a big, highly packed area and being like, oh, I just want to drop a barrage big blast template over there.
Yeah.
There was something about that, whereas now it's just like the large blast is essentially D6 hits, which
Yes.
could just be one, but you're like, oh, come on, I would never have just gotten one.
Yeah.
So it changed the power level of a lot of the weapons. It shifted the balance
Yeah.
of the weapons. And then conversely, like you look at the fact that, you know, now you hit a single target, you can hit it multiple times
Yeah.
with the blast, which also can make sense. You know, you hit a large
Yeah.
target with an explosion, it's going to take more of that explosion.
Yeah.
Who cares if it makes sense?
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, it changed the dynamics of
It
those
did.
weapons
Yeah.
altogether.
Absolutely.
Flamer templates auto hitting.
Yep.
So now a flyer comes by, they can just
Yeah.
and hit stuff as it flies
Yeah.
by. So there was an adjustment period where people are like, oh, I don't like this. It's like, well, it's just a different game now.
Yeah, for sure.
So you just have to kind of adjust yourself and be like, no, this is good and this isn't as good.
Yeah.
Or this is better at this, where it was meant to be. Your brain is still like, no, the Lehman Russ battle tank is all about killing Marines. It's like,
Yeah.
no. Now it's actually decent at doing other things as
Absolutely.
well. It can actually
Absolutely.
take out other tanks.
Yeah.
Because now it's not just getting one hit on them, it's getting D6
D6 hits on them. Exactly.
And, you know, bring Catachan, it can re-roll that D6
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
all those things.
Yeah,
So,
and I also think it sped up the movement phase and the deployment phase, because, you know, now you don't have to sit there and figure out like, well, he's exactly 2 inches apart, so in case I'm getting hit by these templates, now you could just be like, I'm putting them down here, this looks good, we're good to go. So
yeah. Somebody else is saying, and there's a lot of questions, gonna be hard to answer them all.
Oh boy.
Smig Tinting 7890, you don't like templates and scatter, but what about the more tactical things such as pinning and having to try and flank a tank to shoot its rear armor? Because for me, that's much more enjoyable and makes the game more tactical. I don't disagree.
yeah,
I definitely don't disagree that there is something about seeing a Lehman Russ, like here's a building and a Lehman Russ points its butt out right here and then shoots its turret weapon that way.
yeah,
Or, you know, you shoot at it, but, you know, it doesn't really care.
yeah,
In real life, I realize that there is you know, weak spots to armor,
yeah.
but we're not talking about real life.
Yeah, and I think it just became too much. Like you'd have which arc am I in? Am I in your side arc or am I in your back arc? That it would just, you know, it was most of the time you could figure it out fine, but there was always those instances where it's like right on that fine line and you're trying to figure out which is which, and it would just cause those minor irksome arguments that you could just D6 off, but when you D6, someone is not happy, and someone thinks that they've not gotten the way that it should be. You know, regardless, you can keep playing and you can have fun and everything's fine, but there's always innately that time when you D6 off that someone's going to be unhappy with the result.
If you're rolling off to decide who's going to get their way, then somebody's not getting their way.
Exactly.
And it's not like there aren't rules arguments now. There's
Yeah.
still measuring if something's in range or auras.
Can you actually see it?
Are you in
all those
charge
things.
range? Yeah,
Yes.
can you see it? There's still going to be all those kind of arguments, but yeah, it did take out a lot of that kind of stuff.
I feel like it smoothed down a lot of the minor irksome issues. Now it's, you know, there are still things that you will argue about. I think that just innately is going to happen anytime you have a competitive game that's not, you know, set like chess where there's no real argument over what's happening. Anytime you've got the free-flowing game like 40K, you're going to have those kind of arguments. But it managed to take out a lot of the smaller issues that would just cause not a game ender, but would cause a little bit of misfeelings, I think. So that's been my experience with it.
Sorry, somebody's talking about something else. At Googsy, have you ever thought about putting the chat into slow mode? That would make it easier to answer the questions. I'm not too concerned. Going to slow mode, I want you guys to be able to talk amongst yourselves as well. So especially once we're doing like RPG shows where we're not even watching the chat when we're playing the game, we'll be looking at the chat in between.
That'll be fun.
So it's fine. Maybe if we had thousands of people watching, then I would care more. But I can see you guys actually talking to each other too, and I want that. I want this to be a group experience.
Community.
A community, yeah. So you guys can talk to each other and all that kind of stuff. Oh, we got like 240 people on. That's great. Is that a Deadpool t-shirt?
Yes, it is. It's Deadpool with a unicorn cat.
Luca would love that shirt.
Yeah, it's a good one. I saw this one in Target, and I was like, that needs to be mine. So
yeah,
I'm a big fan of Deadpool.
And unicorn cats?
Yeah, and unicorn cats. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, Luca's the cat person here. Or
I've got a really
weird cat shirt person.
Yeah, I was going to say I've got another weird cat shirt person that I'm going to have to wear that one when I come in.
Got a question from Matt9341 who's been trying to ask.
Sorry.
Have you ever? No, it's okay. I mean,
I know.
not for you.
I talk a lot.
I mean like he's asked
Yeah.
a few times now. Have you ever had a guest that tried to stretch the rules to cheat? No need to name names. Oh yeah, yeah. Typically, I'm going to say that typically our experience is that guests are great sports.
Yeah.
And I feel incredibly fortunate to have an incredibly strange experience with miniature war games. Everybody talks about, you know, the problems they have with that guy or going to their local gaming store and they're playing a pickup game. They don't know what they're going to come across. And they talk about all-comers lists and people who just won't change their lists and all that kind of stuff. Here, people fly in from all over the world, for the most part, bring in their nicely painted armies, and they're here to have a good time. And we play in a studio. I have access to hundreds of thousands of points of miniatures to choose from. That's not a typical experience.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the majority of our guests are good, but we have, you know, over the course of 11 plus years of making battle reports, we have of course come across various calibers of players, ones that weren't as good sports, or ones who just blatantly tried to cheat.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, that is the minority. That is the huge minority. What is more common is people coming in that don't know the rules as well, because, like I said, they focus a lot more on the hobby aspect of it. We do get people coming in who are like, yeah, I play ITC, all that kind of stuff, and they go to tournaments, which doesn't necessarily mean you know the rules,
Yeah.
as I've seen at tournaments. But typically that ends up being it. So if you're seeing people like do things wrong, it's not them cheating, it's them just getting a rule wrong. And that happens to me. I make mistakes, especially going between game systems constantly.
It
Like
happens.
when we were playing our games today, I'm like, Phil, I know how to play 40K, but remind me when I even in the game that we played, I moved a model that could have gotten closer, and I kept it 3 inches away, and I failed my charge because of it, and I had to re-roll it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh right, I could go like an inch and a half away, not 3
You're
and a half
not engaged
inches
at 3,
away.
yeah.
Exactly. And so it's just little things like that. I got used to, or coherency looks different.
Yep.
So when you're flipping between the two games, those little things can trip you up. Smite versus Arcane Bolt, your 1-inch coherency versus 2-inch coherency. When you're engaged, how you charge, Overwatch,
Yeah, Overwatch.
all those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's just easy to forget.
Yep.
And so, that's more what happens than anything else.
And then every once in a while, your brain just like clicks back to an older edition for no apparent reason, and all of a sudden
like
you
2
do it.
editions old.
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. You just do the rule, and then you're like, wait a minute, nope, that was like years ago. That's how it got played. That's not how it does anymore. So, yeah.
SF Panzer, Mini Wargaming, and Glacial Geek. Will we get a Blackstone Fortress series? Well, we're actually planning on playing it. We haven't really announced this yet because we're still working on it. Playing it live this coming Wednesday. We probably should announce that to get people excited for, because we're actually going to give away a Blackstone. We have an extra Blackstone Fortress we're going to give away as well, intact, everything in it.
I'll have to be sure to get in the chat for that one.
Yeah. You'll be busy filming.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be busy filming with.
Just let me know so I can do it in between rolls.
I think you'll be filming with Dave that day, actually. And so I plan on having Steve, Luke, and myself play that, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we're planning on live streaming it. Partly because we want to live stream it, but partly because we want to do a stress test on doing a multicam so we can get ready for our role-playing game show, which is starting in just a couple of weeks, which I'm getting ready for, and I'm really excited for. What about you? Are you planning on doing Blackstone Fortress on your channel?
I haven't figured that out yet, so I didn't get an early edition of it, but the models look so cool. So, and I happen to see the ones that Lee painted up. They look really good. So, I really want to. It seems so cool. The whole idea of it is super interesting to me. So, we'll see. I don't know. I can't promise or not promise either of those.
Right. SF Panzer, just don't spoil the contents of the envelope. Well, we're just going to play the game. So, whatever we get to, we open up the contents of. So if you don't want anything spoiled, then obviously don't watch. Beepity Boopity 123. It's a question I'm getting commonly the past couple weeks. Are you planning on hiring another content producer now that Quirk has moved on? Not right now. We're getting ready to move into the bunker, so it's okay to kind of be down a person. Once we get in there, we're going to adjust and figure out what we need. I'm assuming that once we're in the bunker, we're going to need to hire a couple new people because our content production should go up with all the events and stuff we're going to be doing. Okay, I'm just trying to pick out. There's a lot of questions. I'm just trying to pick out some interesting ones. You know what? Now, the one thing I don't think I got set up. Aaron, if you're watching this, Nightbot is set up. Awesome. I was just going to say I need Nightbot set up so I can do giveaways. Okay, don't tell them the word I'm about to put in.
All right.
That should get rid of it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do our first giveaway. Nightbot is always set up. I know. This question is it currently here? Because I forgot to check that beforehand. We're going to give our first Burning a Prospero. It depends which country you go to.
The P place.
The P place.
Oh, that sounded weird. Yeah.
I cannot guarantee all the contents. We definitely have the Space Marine Hero in this one. And yep, that's the rest of the Space Marine Hero. Looks like the Sisters of Silence are missing from this one, whereas they're not from the other one. Yeah, the Sisters of Silence and the Custodes are missing from this one, but it's got, I think, everything else. No guarantees. Okay, so I'll make sure to mark this one separate from the other one. We're going to do a second one. It should come with
a bunch of dice.
30 Legion veterans and 5 Tartaros Terminators. The one character, I think it's Skygor Fellhand, but no Custodians and no Sisters of Silence in this one. The other one has Sisters of Silence, but no Custodians. So we had a few of these lying around downstairs. When I went downstairs, I'm like, hey, we're going to do a quick live show. Give me something to give away. And so we grabbed a couple of these. We're going to slowly be doing that because Lee has a ton of leftover stuff that's just piled up over the years. So it makes good giveaway fodder. So in order to be part of this giveaway, I'm going to give you a minute or two. You need to be on Twitch. If you're on YouTube right now, get over to Twitch, twitch.tv/miniwargaming. I'll wait a couple minutes in case you need to register an account. And worldwide shipping, yes. Everybody always asks me this. Yes, we'll ship it anywhere. All right? We'll ship it anywhere. Anywhere. And then whether it gets to you or not, that's out of our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, no guarantee. Like if you live in Italy, Italy's pretty bad for shipping sometimes.
Gotcha.
And you never get it, well, we're not sending another one. Sorry. But most likely you don't live. Even to Australia. Yes, even to Australia. Why not to Australia? Why do I love Australians.
Every time you do this, you should choose one country that
and
you won't ship it to.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's like one. Whereas like
no matter what I say, it's going to sound really racist.
I know. Not shipping to England.
Oh, jeez.
Just that one. Like that one time you're just not shipping to England. Or not shipping to France.
Yeah.
You know, just each time, just
French
choose one person. Be like, ooh, so close, but sorry.
Yeah,
that was the country that we chose.
I guess we're gonna keep it.
Yeah,
I'll sell it on eBay.
Yeah.
So in order for you to participate, you'll need to be on the Twitch chat. There's going to be a single word that I'm going to tell you, and you will have to write that word. And I'm going to turn on the anti-spam, so you cannot write it more than once. North Korea. You know what? If I could put it in the postal system,
yeah,
sure.
I mean, if they're watching. That takes a lot more effort than I think it's worth it at that point. They've earned it,
right?
Yeah.
I really have no opinions. If whoever wins will give me their address, we'll put it in the mail.
Yeah,
and then
and then it's up to whoever else at that point.
The postal service will have to take care of the rest. I can understand not shipping to France. Oh, come on. I like French people.
Sorry.
See, no matter what we say.
Yeah, I know. We're going to upset somebody.
Like,
exactly.
No, now we're racist.
Yeah.
Magnus did nothing wrong is not the word. So just everybody get over to Twitch, twitch.tv/miniwargaming. And I'm going to give you a single word. You're going to have to type in that word. Yeah, see where our views just jumped. Oh, yeah, they just jumped again. All the YouTubers are coming on over. Come on over, YouTubers. Twitch.tv/miniwargaming. It's nice over here. Don't worry. The only thing French should get is invasions. Come on, little Jimmy. That is not nice. That is not nice. I love France. I've never been to France. I've been to Tahiti. I lived there for a couple of years as a missionary for my church, and I've met a lot of French people, and a lot of Tahitians, obviously, because that's who lives there mostly. But I got to learn French, and I'd love to go to France.
France is wonderful. I've been there. So.
I'd love to visit France. I'd love to. It's funny because growing up, I never thought I'd care about traveling. But now I'm like, no, I want to go to France. I think it's, you know what I blame? It's computer games. After playing Assassin's Creed, now I have to go to Italy. Like seriously, I'm like, oh, this is
just
awesome.
Don't go jumping off of the buildings.
Yeah, I can see me like
you can start running off. Yeah, parkour. Jumping into every pile of hay that he can find.
Oh, that hurts so bad. It's so scratchy. Okay, so I'm going to give you the word. You got a few more seconds, and then I'm going to pull up my timer, and you're going to have a minute and a half to type it in. Only once. If you type it in more than once, you will be disqualified. And then I will randomly choose somebody. There's not going to be any favorites here. It'll just be randomly. Oh, that's hilarious. You see that one comment right there? Say nothing.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. Where's my timer? Where's my timer? Timer. Not 20 minutes. 1 minute. 30 seconds. Okay. We're going to do a timer. Over on twitch.tv/miniwargaming, the word is burn. B-U-R-N. Somebody actually put the word is
I know,
burn.
I saw that.
I'm like,
That's
wow, how
pretty
did you
good.
guess that?
Yeah.
The word is burn.
Get out of my head.
Type burn once. If you type it more than once, it's not case sensitive. Uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter. You can mix the case. Type it in. Only once. You type it in a second time, Nightbot will disqualify you.
I think I saw Aaron.
Oh,
actually
I got to
put
hit
it in there,
start.
too.
I got to hit start. Yeah, because this is not the one of Sisters of Silence, Aaron. I actually just hit start. So you got that long, plus a little bit of lag time. We're already up to 220 eligible. Still, you think about it, even if we got up to like 300 or 400, it's still not bad odds to win a giveaway, right?
Yeah. Better than the lotto.
Yeah, so remember, if you're... I will trade you for one of Sisters. I think it actually... No, we have mods turned off. You actually had to set that up. So, sorry.
Hoisted by your own petard.
I think... I think it wouldn't be fair if we're like, Aaron wins. Here you go, Aaron.
Cheaper on shipping.
Now, just to tell you, we won't be able to cheap. Once I click choose, it actually posts it to the chat. We are down to this many seconds left. Remember, just type it in once. Don't type in burn in other languages. It won't work.
It's not going to help you.
Although it won't disqualify you either.
It's true.
So this many seconds left. If you're over on YouTube, this is your last chance, because anybody says if I go to the live YouTube chat, I'm going to see all sorts of people typing burn. Yep, there's a few. Actually, not that many.
Hey, they all came on over.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, well, geez, almost 400 people.
Nice.
Doing great. You guys are awesome. Okay, we got 8 seconds left, and then I'll account for a bit of lag. Keep touching it so it doesn't go sleep. And time is up. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give it a few more seconds to account for lag, because you won't see that time was up.
Yeah.
Like 10, 15 seconds, because we have that set to very high latency. Big Bowza, would be great if I won, because having a baby limits me to bind models. Yeah, I know. But, sorry, no sympathy. Nightbot cares not for your sympathy.
The cold, dark heart of Nightbot feels no sympathy for anyone.
Okay, so here we go. 248 eligible users. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Roll it. Joe White 73. You have won the giveaway. So what you can do is whisper to me, not like this, but by going /W and then Mini Wargaming, and then just say yo. Give me your email address. I'll have Aaron contact you, and you will be the proud recipient of this. We'll do the other giveaway very shortly, because we're not actually going to be on much longer.
Do you want to mark on this one?
No, it's the bottom one.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
put the other one on
Okay,
top
good.
of it, and between the two of us, we'll remember. So congrats, Joe White 73 for that. MWG Colin, did I miss my chance to win? Colin, every day you get to win, because you get to be the one to figure out all the live show stuff. And when I'm like, I want to do a live show right now, and you're like, okay. He gets everything set up really fast. Okay, so we'll open up to a few more questions. We'll do one more giveaway, and then we'll be done.
Cool.
So just a reminder, if anybody joining us now, this is Phil from the Glacial Geek. I'm assuming you're at least passively familiar with me.
Yeah.
I'm Matthew. Team rules as intended.
Yeah. From Mini Wargaming, in case you didn't know.
Well, I don't assume everybody knows me, but I assume if you're on my channel watching me on a live
Yeah.
stream that you probably know our channel.
That's true.
'Cause otherwise,
Yeah.
Glacial Geek. Okay, we have a question from Demon Ferret. Have you considered doing Age of Sigmar on your channel?
I've considered it.
Let me interrupt you. Do you play Age of Sigmar?
I don't currently play Age of Sigmar. The new models that they've been coming out with have been like very close to getting me to do it. I mean,
What's stopping you?
The fact that all the models I buy now are to be on the channel, and for me to get into a new system is a little cost prohibitive to be able to do it. Like if I was just going to get into the game to play, I can buy a list's worth of models, build it and paint it and play and have it fun. You know, and I can keep playing that same list over and over again. But to do that for the channel would be difficult, because you'd be tired of my list by Battle Report number 2. And the Age of Sigmar scene down in Georgia there isn't as big as the 40K scene. So
You have
it's
a harder time finding guests.
finding guests who are willing to not just build armies, but build armies that they can bring a bit of that they can change up, that they're willing to paint up, and keep the kind of the variety of lists and armies that you really kind of need to keep people interested in what's going on. So
I can totally sympathize with that,
Yeah.
because we get a lot of questions of why don't you play this, why don't you play this, and the investment in a new game, even small skirmish size games,
Yeah.
is actually quite large, because as a channel we need to show more than just one thing.
exactly.
And so, like, for example, when we decided to go into Horus Heresy, it was a large investment. The amount of money I spent on models. Thankfully, the new starter set, Betrayal of Kelth, was coming out shortly, and so that helped alleviate some of the costs. But holy cow,
Yeah.
it was expensive, and that was a game because you couldn't really use Warhammer 40k models except for in some of like the cult stuff.
Yeah.
You could recycle some of your
Yeah.
Imperial Guardsmen and all that.
Yep.
But yeah. Somebody says you can just play demons and play them on both systems.
It's true.
That's true if that's what you want
Yeah.
to play.
But then that would also be the only army I could play. You know what I mean?
And
So,
demons aren't even the most interesting thing that Age of Sigmar
Yeah.
has to offer. Like
I was way more interested in like the aesthetic of like the steampunk dwarves. Those
Yeah.
things look super cool. The Sisters of Cain look super cool.
Yeah.
The Wet Elves look super cool. You know, the Adonith, like, you know, those
Item
guys.
Deepkin, yeah.
Yeah, the Deepkin. Like, all of those look super cool. And I'm like, I want to be able to play them, but I wouldn't be able to. I mean, I'm not. If I won the lotto and I could just tomorrow go out and buy all the models for all the armies and have them painted up, yeah, I would totally be down to it, because it seems like it looks like a fun system and something that's
People
different.
are laughing at you saying wet elves.
Oh, the Wet Elves.
Not wood elves.
Yeah, not Wood Elves, the Wet Elves, exactly. Yeah, the elves that have been just
Wet elves.
They've been wet. I mean, yeah, I would love to, but I just again.
So many things that you just made, like that was a racial slur.
Oh,
Yeah, they're, wet elf!
yeah.
We find that
Those
offensive.
dang wet pointy ears.
That's offensive.
Yeah.
As they whip their hair around in the water.
Yeah,
with their
exactly,
seawater
yeah.
sprays. That's
Yeah.
offensive.
And then their pet sea turtle bites me in half.
It's like, ah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, racial. Okay, we're gonna stop there. All right.
But yeah, so unfortunately, I just don't think, just because of the cost prohibition of being able to do it and be able to pre out content, because honestly, I can't even buy 40k models that don't work within either the army that I currently have, or that I can easily ally into the armies that I currently have to make it work. Because, you know, if I wanted to do like an Eldar list, I could probably buy an Eldar list, build and paint it, and play that one game, but I'm not going to be able to buy enough to keep it, even in 40k, enough of a variety to make it work for the channel. And unfortunately, all of my purchases of models have to go towards things that I can turn into content for the channel.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing. It's something that can easily be underappreciated for running your own channel, that it changes your motivation for what
Yeah.
you decide to play and why you play it.
Yeah.
And now I've always, thankfully, it aligns a bit for me, because like I said before, I get tired of the same thing, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what you don't want to play the same thing more
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't mean just the same army. Like, I'll play Tyranids for 20 games in a row.
Yeah.
What you won't see is me playing the same list
Yeah.
more than once or twice in a row.
Yeah.
Unless I'm trying something out and I'm trying to optimize it, get
Yeah,
to a good
yep,
level,
yep, yep.
and then abandon that and be like,
Yeah.
okay, I figured that out.
Yeah.
Now moving on. Let's see if I can figure out how to use Raveners or figure out how to use the Flyers.
Yeah.
And so there's so much variety in there that you can use that.
Absolutely.
But in order to do that, I've got like close to 20,000 points of Tyranids to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Where when we first started, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And the other part is guests. You're right. It's hard to get the variety of guests. 40K is still the biggest game. Like,
Yeah.
when you compare our 40K content to our Age of Sigmar content, 40K is still more popular.
Yeah.
Age of Sigmar has definitely risen
Yeah.
in popularity. Huge, especially since second edition, but it has risen in popularity, but 40K still trumps it.
Yeah.
So if I were to start my own channel separate, like if Mini Wargaming disappeared and I had to start over,
Yeah.
it would definitely be 40K.
Yeah.
Even though right now I actually like Age of Sigmar more, I would still, for business purposes, choose 40K.
Yeah.
Because that's just what we had. That's when we first got into it. We were playing Lord of the Rings. And we wanted to play Lord of the Rings, but nobody played Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Everybody played 40K, so we forced ourselves to get into 40K.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's at least something. There's
Exactly.
a reason it's popular.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
Good. It's got good aesthetic, got awesome models,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun.
Yeah.
So I find, for myself, Age of Sigmar takes everything that's good with 40K and then takes it up a notch, where it's got even better looking models.
Yeah.
The game's even more fun.
Yeah.
And I love fantasy.
Yeah.
I like sci-fi a lot.
Yeah.
But I really like fantasy.
Yeah.
Geez, we got so many questions. I don't know if we have much more time because I actually have to get going soon. There was a couple really good ones. I feel like when I'm talking to another YouTuber, I want to focus more on questions related to having your own YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Somebody had asked, and I can't find it, so I'm sorry who said it. They had asked how long it takes to film a battle report. So we can compare notes here.
Sure.
So I'll start with you. How long does it take to film, and then how long does it take to edit a battle report?
I think all told, from like when I show up at the store to when I can it's finished published to the YouTube, it's probably, I would think maybe about, for a full length one, probably around 8 to 10 hours.
And how much of that is filming? Like obviously filming is how long the game takes.
Yeah. So it could take a 1.5 hour video on the game, because I skip the movement phase, and we skip the time that you're sitting there like scratching your head looking for a rule, all those different things. It probably ends up taking about 4 to 5 hours, maybe a bit more than that.
It takes a lot longer to film a game than play a game.
It takes a lot longer. So I can go to a tournament and people are like, "Oh, are you going to make battle reports from your games at a tournament?" I'm like,
you don't have time.
I can't. You have no time to do that. You
can't force your opponent to slow down.
Exactly.
Hold on a second. Okay, now roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because you can rapid fire.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon, I get to play off camera, and it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, geez, I'm just rolling.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait for the camera. I don't have to hold it with one hand.
Yeah.
I'm just going. It's so much faster.
It's so much faster, and that's why.
Or you can sit down.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you're standing there for the whole time, because at a tournament, when your opponent's doing their movement phase, you can sit down while they're moving their models, and you can keep an eye on what's going on. But when you're filming, everything that's going on, you're standing and working the whole time. So it takes a lot longer to film a game than it takes to just play a game.
Definitely.
And then on top of that, you then have to import all the things you're working with. You have to make the thumbnails. I have the other graphics that I make. And then there's the edit time that I've worked into certain ways of filming that makes it easier on me, but it still takes quite a few hours of editing, and then rendering and uploading, and rendering, exporting, and then uploading.
Are you including your rendering time in that time, the 8 to 10 hours?
It's actually probably longer than that now that I think about that, because it ends up being, probably
so you spend a few hours on editing.
Yeah, exactly.
See, for us, we've kind of, if you're familiar with how our battle reports are shot, most of the editing is done in camera, so Rob can get a regular battle report edited in about an hour.
Yeah.
But then we don't add all the extra things like you were saying, like the woos,
exactly.
Stick your head on something, all those extra flavor things, which are cool, which definitely would add to it. We've just made the decision we need to get a lot of these out.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And we focus more of our editing attentions on the campaigns and narrative campaigns and all that. So for us, it's about a typical, if we're just playing a 2,000 point regular battle report, we can, in a 9 to 5 day, guests usually show up by 9:30. We usually only try to get one filmed in a day. Because it can take a good 4 hours, and you don't have time to fit in another one. You don't want to rush it. But we filmed 2 games today, and we were done by 2:30.
Yeah.
But they were also different, and so they're lower model count.
They were designed to be more on stuff.
Yeah. And so, but I would say the typical battle report, 3 to 4 hours, and then an hour, maybe 2 hours at most to edit.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get your template down and all that, and that's including adding all the interludes and title screens and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you should try posting normal speed matches for advanced players to enjoy. Put it on YouTube to test it out. Hey, you don't have to put it on YouTube to test it out. Many people do that. Yeah. I've seen it, and they just don't get as many views. You're right. There will be an audience who wants the unedited version of your 3 to 4 hour. And in fact, people go and you can watch live battle reports for that. Frontline Gaming, Games Workshop, they do that, and many others do that. And that's where you're seeing them at full length. Yeah. Maybe the camera angles aren't the best when it's live, because they kind of have fixed camera angles where, if you're just holding the camera, you can get a lot better angles, but it's hard to do that with live streaming. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think it would be worth it. It's yes, there would be people who would enjoy that, but there's always somebody who will enjoy something. Yeah. And they'll always advocate for that.
Yeah. And I think when I started doing my channel, I made a deliberate effort to figure out what it is that I enjoyed watching on battle reports that I wanted to make for my own videos. So when I was looking at the battle reports, I realized that I wasn't as engaged with the ones where they just had plain plastic models, where they were just bare plastic. I wasn't as engaged. So even if it just had like a bare color, like very minimal color on it, I was instantly more engaged in the video. So I was like, all right, when I'm doing my battle reports, it doesn't have to be Golden Demon quality painting jobs, but it's got to be at least some paint on the models so that I'm a little more engaged. And then I decided I enjoyed watching the actual rolls because that's where all the excitement happens. So as much as I could be like, oh man, you should have seen it when I stuck like the 4 6s that I needed to like keep this guy alive, and people be like, cool
sure,
for you.
That's
like,
awesome. It's like I got a hole in one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like,
so cool. But if they saw it happen,
yeah, when you actually can see it happen, you can be like, oh man, you stuck all those 6s, and that that gets exciting. So I was like, I want to have that, and I took out a lot of the things that I thought that were slower down for me, like movement. I felt for my videos, just doing an overview worked well for showing where all the models move, so you can still get a tactical idea of what's going on without having to show all the models being moved. And
you find any way to you want a short battle report, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like I wish that I could have my battle report be 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And in a perfect world, you'd have 5 cameras and 40 hours to 50 to 100 hours of editing.
Yeah.
And you could pull that off.
Yep.
You could just montage certain things. You could show off the most interesting roles. So you film everything, and then you let the video editors decide. But that would just be an inordinate waste of time, to be honest. Because
super cost prohibitive.
You would not get the views to make up for the fact that you could have made 10 to 20 battle reports with all that. That's same. So
yeah, absolutely.
And when you look at the number of armies there are to play with 40K.
Yeah, and especially if you're doing your own channel, you have to make a product that you also enjoy. Because at the end of the day, you're putting a lot of work and a lot of effort into these things, and you got to make the thing that you find entertaining. And there'll be a lot of people out there that also feel the same way, So make a product you're happy with.
Exactly. So if you're ever thinking of getting battle reports, keep all that in mind. There's a lot of things that a viewer wouldn't think about.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about it. You just turn on YouTube and you watch games, and there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that can really influence everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running out of time, so I'm going to be doing the other live giveaway in just a second. Before I do that, so come on over if you're on YouTube. The live giveaway, in order to qualify, you're going to have to type in one word. It's not going to be burn. I'm going to change the word right now. What should the word be? Should it be something in there? It's another one of these. You need to be on Twitch live stream to get it, though. This one, I think, does have the Sisters of Silence, but not the named characters. Yeah.
Aaron wants to know if this is the one with sisters.
This is one of Sisters.
Yes.
But you can't win. You're a mod.
Mod's still excluded.
Mod's still excluded. Yeah, it has everything. I believe it has everything except the Custodes and the named characters. So it has like all the Legion veterans and the Terminators and the Sisters of Silence, which apparently are valuable. And and it still has all the board and the rules and the cards
and the dice
and all that kind of stuff too. So get on over to the Twitch stream. I'm going to tell you a word. You can change the chat to Mod Only Adora. She won't do that. So hold on. Let me come up with another word. No. Yes. Yeah. We're good. All right. So I'm going to give you another minute to get over here. If you're on YouTube, get on over to Twitch because it's only going to be on Twitch.
See
people are
change the stream title to "Matt is a big meanie and won't let me win."
It'll be a minute and a half. So get on over here if you're from YouTube. Go to twitch.tv/miniwargaming. We'll do this giveaway. So while we're waiting for that, just announcements for what we're going for live shows for this week. Tomorrow, Dave will be doing a Shrine of Chaos, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I want to say. And so you can join him for that live on Twitch tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be the last one where we do it on YouTube as well, because then we'll be able to apply for affiliate, and that's when we are not allowed to live stream simultaneously. On Wednesday, if all goes well, then Steve, Luke, and I will be doing a longer live stream of playing Blackstone Fortress, and we're actually going to be doing a giveaway of an entire box of Blackstone Fortress on that show. Time is to be determined. It might actually be like an all-day thing, like during the workday, because we're also using it to stress test the computer and what people are typing in words. I didn't say what the word is yet.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Why is everybody typing in words? Did I miss something?
I don't think so.
They're getting it right.
No, I didn't want to say anything.
Oh, because bird's the word? Twitch trolling, because bird is the word.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Heck, we'll do the giveaway now. Bird was the word. I was like, how are you guessing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bird.
It is
Type in bird.
Bird is the word.
I can't believe they guessed it.
The first one, yeah.
There was like 30 eligible users by that point. Remember, only do it once. If you do it more than once, you'll get disqualified.
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's why I chose. Oh, bird is the word.
Yeah, I guess so.
The bird is the word.
Because that's when the first one I saw was bird, and I was like, haha. All right, someone said it.
And also, I was like,
more.
I was like, what? Did I say it?
Yeah, I was
Did
like,
I see
what's
my
going on?
screen somehow?
Yeah.
Yeah, bird.
Get out of our head!
B-I-R-D, which no longer looks like a word. Does that look like a word to you anymore? Baird.
No.
Beard. Byard.
Definitely
Bird.
looks misspelled, even though that's
it's not
totally how it's spelled. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we could only put it once. Sorry, Rubber City Nomad. Them's the rules. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let it run. I guess I should turn on the timer. Start. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. That's the thing that killed it.
Because of the rules.
There we are. Okay. You know what? Okay. I'll make a new word, because some people are like, but I typed it more than once, because I thought it was just a joke.
No.
Okay, I'll make a new word. Sorry, we're making a new word.
Yeah.
Because people did say, people that were making a good point.
That was pretty funny.
All right, I'll just random word. There we go. You're not going to be able to guess that one. What, did 3 people guess it already? No. Okay, the new word is battle. B-A-T-T-L-E. Battle. B-A-T-T-L-E. Only do it once or you're disqualified.
Remember, once or you're out.
Once you're out. So there we go. Let's do that again. Let's get back up.
Sorry
Sorry about that. That's true.
Aaron
I'm
put it
like,
in
no, I can't change the word. I can't change the word because people have already entered. But then it's like, yeah, because people were already typing it more than once and they didn't know. So that's not fair. Battle. B-A-T-T-L-E. Battle is the word. Clearly there is a delay. Yeah, delay is okay. And if you use the word in a sentence, it doesn't count. It has to be just the word by itself. Uppercase, lowercase, mixed case, I don't care. Nothing else will count. Cattle. Bats does not count. Bird is the word, Brian. No. Bird. Bird is the word. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to be streaming that all day long. That's where we got interrupted there.
Yeah.
Streaming that. And the rest of the week, we're going to have our live sit and talk on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Josh. And that's all that's planned so far. Obviously, we're going to be doing a lot more live shows. In just a little over 2 weeks, we're going to be starting our role-playing show, if all goes well, for Dungeons & Dragons. And I'm super excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, battle is the word. Battle, B-A-T-T-L-E. I'm going to shut it down in just a second. I didn't turn on the timer, so I'm going to set the timer to 18 seconds. Yeah, that many seconds left before we give it away. I'm excited for Blackstone Fortress 2, Zoo Pants. We haven't played it before, so you're going to literally watch us like figure out the game. All right, time's up. I'll give you a few seconds for lag. Battle. Oh, you're getting some love.
Oh, thank you.
Eric Ramvey. Phil, loving you and your channel, bro.
Thank you.
So, that's enough time. We've got 248 eligible users. Let's roll. You ready? Ready? And then watch this number plummet. Our number of viewers, we're just going to plummet right now because we're done after this. Boom! Lehman Russ 23 is the winner. Congratulations, you've won a somewhat intact Horus Heresy Burning of Prospero. Remember, contents
fairly intact.
The contents are not guaranteed, especially if Aaron steals the Sisters of Silence. But there should. I saw the sprues. It looked like the Sisters of Silence are in there, and it looked like the characters and custodies are missing.
Yeah.
So make sure you whisper to me, not like this, but like /W Mini Wargaming. Whisper to me and send me your email address, and we'll contact you. And yeah, Lehman Russ. I just realized Lehman Russ just won the Burning of Prospero.
Yeah, he did.
This guy, you can paint the Tartaros Terminators
did.
to be Space Wolves. They're not actually Thousand Suns versus Space Wolves. That's just the gimmick or the colors.
Yeah.
So please, anyway, I'm gonna check to make sure we got. All right, we got.
Yep.
Our first winners has whispered to us. So Lehman Russ. Hey, he just whispered again.
Yep. Cool.
Lehman Russ, whisper your email address. We should play Gene Sister Cult versus Gene Sister Cult. Sounds really interesting. But yes, thank you so much for joining us on our live show today. It's an impromptu live show. Wow, we got a good number of people on. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out Phil at the Glacial Geek, youtube.com/the-glacial-geek, or facebook.com/glacial-geek.
Just to make it more difficult. Yeah.
But there's a the on the YouTube, but not a the on the Facebook.
I think if you search for Glacial Geek in either of them, you'll find it. So
yeah, I'm sure it'll be pretty much. Lehman Russ's email, Magnus@dideverythingwrong. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you on Wednesday, hopefully, but you'll see Dave tomorrow at the Shrine of Chaos. So, happy wargaming.